My Beautiful Voyage by Paul Lewis. Lights up on the Greyhound ticket counter in Buffalo, New York. Amy enters and approaches the ticketing desk.
Can I help you?
I'd like a ticket to Ithaca, please, one way.
Is that Ithaca, New York, or Ithaca, Greece?
Excuse me?
New York or Greece?
I didn't know Greyhound went to Greece. New York. Yes, Ithaca, New York.
Buffalo to Ithaca, one way. Express or local?
Whichever one leaves the soonest, I suppose.
That would be the local, leaving at 9:30 p.m. With a transfer in Cleveland.
I'm sorry?
There's a bus change in Cleveland. It's where you transfer to your Chicago bus.
I'm sorry, you must have misunderstood me. I'm trying to get to Ithaca, New York.
Yes, I heard you, darling. Ithaca, New York.
Which is about 100 miles southeast of here. You're telling me to get to Ithaca, I've got to go through Cleveland and Chicago?
You said you wanted the local, the one that leaves the soonest. You arrive in Ithaca at, never mind, you don't want to know.
I'll tell you what, I've changed my mind.
You mean you decided to go to Ithaca, Greece? Oh, we don't go there.
No, I've changed my mind about taking the local. I've decided to take the express bus instead. When does that one leave?
The express? Hold on a second. The express bus to Ithaca. There is no express bus to Ithaca.
So the only way for me to get to Ithaca is to go to Ohio and transfer to a bus heading to Illinois?
Everybody's always going places around here. Let me ask you something. What's so terrible about Buffalo?
You know what? I'll take the local.
The local it is. That'll be $14. But first you have to sign a waiver.
What was that again?
All passengers traveling to Ithaca need to sign a waiver.
But what language is this? It looks like Greek.
Oh, sorry, I gave you the wrong waiver. I gave you the one to Ithaca, Greece.
The one you don't go to.
Let me see. Carthage, Sparta, Ankara, Kuala Lumpur, Belgian Congo. Here's one for Ithaca. Ithaca, New York.
But this is a poem.
I just work here, darling.
Where do I sign?
At the bottom. But first you have to read it out loud.
I beg your pardon?
Company regulations. Any passenger traveling to Ithaca must read the waiver out loud.
I felt like I'd fallen down the rabbit hole. I suppose I should mention what I was doing at the Greyhound station in the first place. See, I had been laid off from my teaching job, and my car was kaput, and so was my marriage. In short, my life was a bit of a mess. And then one night I had this dream, the classic insecurity dream, one where I couldn't remember how to get to my next class. And it would have been entirely forgettable except for this woman's voice whispering in my ear the whole time. Ithaca, the voice said, over and over, very insistently. I had to wonder if this dream was somehow trying to show me the way forward. Voyages have been launched on far flimsier grounds, I imagine.
Whenever you're ready.
When you set out on your journey to Ithaca, pray that the road is long, full of adventure, full of knowledge. Pray that the summer mornings are many, when with such pleasure, with such joy, you will enter Port Scene for the first time.
You see that? That wasn't so bad.
Well, wait.
Here's your ticket. Your bus leaves from gate 9.
Well, there's more to the poem.
Next, can I help the next person in line?
So then have you been to a Greyhound station in Cleveland at 2 in the morning? Those sickly yellow lights and the signboards which don't work, and all the squawking loudspeakers and the general squalor and confusion. So, you'll know why I found myself at the Cleveland ticket counter a few hours later, asking for assistance. Can I help you? Yes, can you tell me where I can catch the bus to Chicago?
It left an hour ago.
Excuse me, aren't you?
Aren't I what?
You look exactly like the ticket agent in Buffalo. The one who sold me my ticket to Ithaca.
Ithaca, Greece or Ithaca, New York?
This again. You don't have a twin sister by any chance? Who worked at the Greyhound terminal in Buffalo?
You meet some interesting characters working the night shift here.
Never mind. When is the next bus to Chicago?
Express or local?
Surprise me.
The next bus to Chicago, that leaves in 20 minutes with stops in Buffalo and Ithaca.
Buffalo and Ithaca. But I just came from Buffalo.
Let me see your ticket, darling. You're trying to get to Ithaca, are you? What are you doing here in Cleveland?
I'm not sure anymore.
You're all turned around, aren't you? If you wanted to go to Ithaca, you should have stayed in Buffalo. Then you could have caught the express service from Cleveland to Chicago with stops in Buffalo and Ithaca.
The ticket agent in Buffalo never said anything about that. I don't think.
Do I look like the agent in Buffalo?
Actually, yes.
I've been working here for over 20 years, darling. You want to go to Ithaca. You board your Cleveland to Chicago bus. Stay on board when you get to Buffalo and take it all the way to Ithaca. But first you have to sign this waiver.
I expected nothing less. Out loud, correct?
I'm listening.
When you set out on your journey
No,
to
you don't
Ithaca-
need to read that part again. You've read it already.
Well, how did you know? Never mind. Always keep Ithaca in your mind. To arrive there is your ultimate goal. Ithaca has given you the beautiful voyage. Without her, you would have never set out on the road.
That is gorgeous. Okay, hon. I'm going to reroute you through Buffalo. You're all set. Gate 9 in 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Can I ask you something, honey? What is it that you think you're going to find in Ithaca that you can't find in Buffalo or here in Cleveland or anywhere else for that matter?
So, since there was no one else in line and it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I told her about my shambles of a life. Oh, and about the dream, and that annoying voice that kept whispering in my ear and unsettling me so. And she told me about how she'd been brought up in an orphanage, and how she'd moved from foster home to foster home, and had dropped out of college and eventually got a job at the Greyhound station, where she moved up in ranks from janitor to ticket agent, a position she'd held for over 20 years. So soon enough, I found myself on a westbound bus to Chicago, paradoxically headed east out of Cleveland by way of Buffalo and Ithaca. I couldn't decide if people who developed the route maps for Greyhound were just demented geniuses or simply had very low IQs. Well, a couple of hours later, when we arrived back at the bus depot in Buffalo, rather than remain on board and continue on to Ithaca, I decided to disembark.
Can I help you?
It's me, remember?
We take care of a lot of customers here, sweetie.
Ithaca,
Greece or New York?
New York.
Oh, yeah, now I remember. How was it, hon?
I don't know, I haven't been there yet. I'm just wondering. Why didn't you tell me there was a bus that goes directly to Ithaca from here?
Your Cleveland to Chicago bus, you mean? You said you wanted the bus that left the soonest.
I suppose I did.
Still, did you find what you were looking for?
I'm not sure. How about you?
Me?
You. Do you know what it is you're looking for? Do you think you're ever going to find it?
Customers ask me a lot of crazy things around here. What city is this? Where can I find the traveler's aid? Will you watch my dog for 5 minutes? And then they never show up again. Lots of crazy things. But in over 20 years of working here, that was the first time a customer had ever asked me that one.
Do you think you're ever going to find it, Agnes? It is all right if I call you Agnes.
It's on my name tag, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
It's the name they gave me at the orphanage. It's the kind of name where you know they weren't trying very hard, wouldn't you agree?
I think it's a lovely name. What do you remember about the orphanage?
Not a thing. It's all gone, missing.
Do you want to find what you're looking for, Agnes?
Find what I'm looking for? Well, that's a tough nut to crack, honey. I mean, how am I supposed to find it? I don't even know what it is.
Have you ever been to Cleveland, Agnes?
Cleveland? I don't Think so. I hear it's nice in Cleveland. Why do you ask?
When do you get off work?
Oh, I'll be closing my window in about 5 minutes.
Do you have time for one more transaction?
For you, darling, anything.
Well, I'd like to buy a ticket to Cleveland.
Local or express?
Express, definitely express. Oh, I take it the express bus doesn't go through Salt Lake City?
No, just in Cleveland. That'll be $12.
Well, no waivers to sign, no poetry to recite?
No, not for Cleveland. Cleveland is a very straightforward transaction. Here's your ticket. Your bus leaves in 10 minutes from gate 9.
Okay, now listen to me. There's someone in Cleveland, someone whom you've waited your whole life for, someone who's waited her whole life for you. Her name is Gladys, and she works behind the Greyhound ticket counter just like you. This is your ticket. I want you to go to Cleveland and find her.
I don't understand.
You will. Please, just do as I say. Promise me you'll find her. Oh, and here, I want you to have this.
Oh, I can't take your money.
Please. Just treat her to breakfast. She'll know exactly where to go after living there all those years. You'll have a lot of catching up to do. And take your sister shopping.
Sister?
Buy her, I don't know, a hat. Maybe it was my crazed intensity after a night of bus travel. Maybe she had a glimmer of understanding, but she did take my money, and she boarded the bus to Cleveland. And she waved to me as the bus pulled out of the station. It might have been the eerie phosphorus lighting, but I had to wonder if the ticket agent had ever been on a bus journey before, since through the smeared and smoky glass she appeared to have the face of a girl of 3 or 4, eyes bright, innocent, expectant. Of course, my bus to Chicago by way of Ithaca had long since left the station. I've never been to Ithaca, even to this day. But seeing as how my beautiful voyage through the night had come to an end, I hailed a taxi and I set off for home.
End of show.